What's up, everybody? Oh, I should have queued up. I literally just now thought of it that I should have queued up my intro video before into the back end of this before I went live, but I didn't. So, oh well. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Hope this stream finds you well, and I hope you got time to get into some fun discussions. We can do as they say, let some people roll in, let the algorithm have a few moments to do its work and send some notifications out before we get to the bulk of what we're going to be talking about. But sneak preview for the people that showed up early. What's up, Ray's camera? How you doing, man? Good to see you. We can show comments up here. We're going to be talking about this video that I posted recently. There was a couple of things that I wanted to mention. Excuse me while I handle some back end stuff. There was a couple of things that I wanted to mention in that video that I didn't, because every time I make a video, there's stuff I wish I would have put in it. So we're going to kind of watch that. I got a special guest coming on. If anybody else might want to be a guest, they can send me an email at jimfreedomcontact@gmail.com, and I can send you a link to get into the back end so that you can be part of the discussion later if you want. That's something we could do. So that's going to be fun. The one of the things I was going to bring up that I didn't bring up as much in the video was the fact that he was on Joe Rogan. That's a big deal to me. That's huge, to be on Joe Rogan. And a lot of people don't know Adam Kokesh anymore. He's kind of slipping into the offline. He has been taking an online sabbatical, not doing any YouTube, not doing things like that. So some people know where he's at, and it's no secret where he's at. Like if you check his YouTube channel, the most recent videos that he has posted are of him on his property, and he's pretty public about where it is and everything up north, and that's what he's doing. He just lives off grid, and he is, I mean, you should see it. I'm going to go there soon and get an update of what everything, how his life's going and everything, because he's been doing great as far as I've heard, and his property is flourishing. He's loving everything he's doing about his property, and he's making it his own, and he has branched out a lot. He's got a lot of buildings. He's got his fence going up. He's got his animals. He's got a beautiful life going on out there. You can't fault him for that. There's millions of us, believe it or not, that wish he would get back into the fight and get back into doing on the street videos and things like that. But, everybody's got to do what they got to do for themselves, and that's all you can ask of anybody, so we're gonna get into it. Let me go through some comments here before we get into any video showing. We got Teresa Johnson said hi. That was way earlier, before I was actually even live, because YouTube does that for some reason. Just recently found your channel. You're an inspiration. I appreciate that. Under duress, really very much. How you doing, John Denicola? Evening, Jenny. Ray's camera, of course. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see you. Abstract Echo. Exercise and Freedom Legend. I don't know about legend, but hey, I'm working on it. I like to speak at council meetings. I'm not everybody's, but I'm some people's favorite council member lecturer, if that makes sense. What's up, Jeff Ross? How you doing? Cool to see you live from Mr. Free. Yeah, hey, appreciate you. I'm I don't go live that often, but I think it's something I'm going to start doing more often. I'm going to start kind of scheduling guests and working on that. So trying to check my stuff. I'm sorry. Let's keep going. Lori Brand, appreciate you. I like that hand. If you like Kokesh, you'd love Larkin Rose. I love Larkin Rose too. I love them all, man. Believe it. I've done my share of reading the greats, and it has shaped my philosophies and why I talk the way I talk. People like that put freedom at its base level so easy to understand that many people just soak it up. they love it. So, I mean, that's why they're powerful figures. That's why they were popular when they were. So, you need help. I know you do, Christian. I've seen your messages. I wish I could do more to help with getting public records from Mesa police. Getting denied my father's records, and even after showing them the power of attorney. That's a great question. You know what? Direct D just had a guest on his channel that was a lawyer. She was a lawyer in, I think, Michigan. I'm not sure where she's at, lawyer currently. But, sorry, it's my dog. He's barking at the door. She's a lawyer, and she does a show. I think it was first Tuesdays of every month or something like that. If you just watch his last live stream that he just did, she talks about it at length. And she does legal advice. You could ask her questions, and she's an actual lawyer, and she might be able to help you with something in that regard. So I do wish you the best of luck on that. You're sus on Kokesh. Oh, here we go. I heard some bad things, but he's made a lot of enemies speaking the truth. So who knows? You know it. He did make a lot of enemies speaking the truth. I'd like to hear what it was, the bad things you heard, and I'll see if I might be able to clarify, because that's another thing that I didn't really go into in my video very much. But I actually lived with Adam or on his compound, not in, like, I had my own little building. Actually, I stayed in my van for a long time. I was living in my van on his property. It had solar panel on it and everything, the whole nine. It was a pretty cool, fun experience. So, but I got to know him pretty well and got to know a lot of what he did and everything. Got to know him pretty personally. So, ask away. I'll see if I can clear anything up for you. Good evening. What's going on? Good to see you. I saw you in Direct D stream earlier. Is your public speaking is outstanding and much appreciated. Thank you very much, Will. I appreciate that. We're scrolling through comments. Oh, there's so many. I don't know if I can keep up. I don't want to scroll through every comment. Hi, what's up? Yes, that is where I've seen you. I'm just finding your channel. Seen you in the council meetings. You are awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. I'm going to be doing more council meetings soon. So what's going on? Mom's Wholesome Videos. Good to see you. I saw you in Direct D's live also. Awesome. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. So she's in Florida. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. I thought it was Florida, but she mentioned something about Michigan, and she must have used to been a lawyer in Michigan. I was a little bit distracted, I'll be honest. But did you change your phone number too? My phone number is, you should have it, I think. Not sure. I don't remember the last number you have. Message me on it and we'll find out. Howdy, y'all. Sorry. Don't step on me. Greetings. Got here a little late. You're not late for anything, man. We're kind of early. I'm surprised and happy to see this many of you in here just hanging out. So it's good to see everybody. I'm going to scroll through, see. I like your style. Earth Traveler. Yes. Resident of Earth. That's what I say in my when I go to the meetings, because I do that. I meant to explain and make a video about it and explaining it, but I do that because they try to intimidate you into doxing yourself, basically giving your actual name and giving your residence. So I give them a pseudonym and I just tell them I'm a resident of this planet like everyone else, because when I'm there speaking at that podium, it's as if I am anyone on this planet would have the same rights to speak at that podium that I do. It doesn't matter who I am or where I reside. I'm at that podium to say some words, and it's your job to listen. That at its base level, that's what's supposed to happen. So, anti-freedom press agenda in Oklahoma and Florida, all over the whole country, 50 states. Nashville, Tennessee in the house. What's going on? She moved from Michigan to Florida. I thought so. What's going on? Jayco, Kansas City Cop Watch. She's a lawyer in Michigan. Yep, we got that cleared up. Excellent, excellent. Good evening. Must have missed it, Jim Freedom. Did you get the info for the young man helping to feed the homeless in Arizona? Did I get the info for the young man helping feed homeless? What do you mean, did I get the info? There's a video up with a GoFundMe attached to it. And I have his info. I have his number. I'm in contact with him regularly. I've been going there Sundays and making sure the cops don't show up to punish him anymore. So yeah, I'm in regular contact with him. I just did a video with him last week because he was issuing, his lawyers gave him the idea to issue membership cards to anybody that's there that wants to eat, so that it makes it a private event. So it's something his lawyers specifically, he asked me to come out there and record it so that he could give that footage to his lawyers to use in court to document that it's a private event type of thing. So there's that. Freedom, good day. What's up, Barlap? Good to see you, man. I've seen you a lot in Directy's live chats too. You be giving memberships away. That is crazy and awesome, and I love it. To donate. Here you go. Oh, I forgot I could put this up. I made some stuff. That's cool, huh? Messing around with all the features in this thing. It's great to be here in New Zealand. Nice. Will you try to find that info and help that young man out? I am going to help him out as best I can. I'm going to his court on the 7th of March. So anybody in the area is welcome to come and peacefully just sit there and watch and let the courts know through your peaceful participation that he's not alone. He has people supporting him. That's the best thing you can do for anybody when court is going on. You show up and you just be present, and your presence itself is a message to the court that you don't have this victim to yourself. You're not going to prey on this victim without other people watching it. That's one of the most important parts about going to somebody else's court date in support, so consider that. It's good to see everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this video. I don't know if the guest I was planning on having is going to be showing up, but here, let's put, that makes me too small. Let's try this. There we go. That looks better. Let's go to the video over here. Oops, that's the Kokesh one. Let's just start watching it from the beginning, and you guys tell me what you think. And if anybody if you want to pause and say something, make a point on something, let me know. Let's just roll a little bit of it at a time, and when I think of something else to say,
Why are you twitching?
No comment, sir.
Are you nervous?
No comment.
Do you have a problem actually honoring your oath to the Constitution? Do you have a problem honoring your word in general? Is this something that makes you uncomfortable?
No comment, sir.
Please don't post this. I don't want this on the internet.
Oh, can I?
You don't have my permission.
Okay.
You don't have my permission to post this.
You can go to jail for doing that.
You're not allowed to have free expression or free speech in the memorial to Thomas Jefferson, the champion of free speech. We're moving, man. We're in love.
We're stopping. We're stopping. You're not arresting us for standing
For
here.
what? You didn't even give me a warning.
This is your last warning.
that's the intro I want to bring up and put in there. If you know the name Adam Kokesh, you most likely know the Jefferson Memorial dancing video. They all got arrested for dancing at the Jefferson Memorial because the police deemed it demonstrating. If you haven't seen this video, it's definitely worth the watch. Just keep in mind that this is 12 years ago. Think to yourself, what has changed since then? What's gotten better? What's gotten worse? Adam is one of the original right to record activists. Just look how old the Joe Rogan Experience looks when he was on it. This episode was permanently deleted from Joe Rogan's collection and is only available on Adam Kokesh's YouTube page. See, I want to say something about that right there. That is worth knowing and remembering. I mean, this is Joe Rogan, and what happened is when he signed the $100 million contract with Spotify the first time, Spotify told him there is a handful of episodes, about 30 of them or so, I don't remember the exact number, that he had to get rid of from his collection in order to complete the contract with Spotify. And Joe Rogan said, no big deal. And that was this podcast that Joe Rogan did in his early years with, it was a 3-hour podcast with Adam Kokesh. And there was one with Alex Jones, and there was one with all the ones with all kinds of super controversial people were banned from the record of Joe Rogan. Of course, you can still see this one because it's on Adam Kokesh's channel, and that's why he doesn't want to be that I wouldn't be your friend anymore, Direct. He says for $100 million, so you can't blame him. You're not wrong. We had this conversation before. $100 million. Adam has said this himself before. If Spotify wants to offer me $100 million, I will never make another YouTube video again. You will never see my face on the internet. Goodbye. 100 million. Thank you very much. Take it. Gone. Love it. It's good to see you, Direct D. That's hilarious and a great point. You're not wrong. So this video, I'm going to play a clip of Kokesh on. Well, let's just go ahead and get to that. Let me stop sharing this screen so I can present the other one, because in the Joe Rogan one, he asks, or he doesn't ask, but he just tells him basically how he didn't really say it's his duty. He just was talking about how he has the big platform and it's up to him to tell this story. Like, let's just watch a few minutes of the Joe Rogan podcast. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Man, I'm a little bit new at running the StreamYards here.
What they're doing, but they have a pot shop in the front where they sell bongs and shit. In the back, they have a hot box. This is a hot box, like 100 people boxed in.
IceHouseComedy.com. Able to just come here, but we got distracted by weed, man. We were actually.
But you were going to tell me about I want to hear the currency thing that you were telling me before the show about they have their own currency.
Well, let's come back to that, because we were talking about the perspective, and how I used to be asleep,
right,
and how so many in my audience are excited to have me appear on your podcast and to be able to share this perspective with you, because it's about sharing the joy of standing up to government, of standing up to the bully, of actually seeing yourself as part of this process of humanity evolving. And they know that you share a lot of the premises of this, of distrust for authority, of your good understanding of what government is and the exploitation behind it. But what we're doing is actually working to change the paradigm and get people more involved. We're not so much a political movement as an anti-political movement, and that we understand that politics is pathological behavior when you're advocating for more government control, when you're saying that we need government to do this, and we are helping humanity by spreading this message that it is a universal moral message of that, don't hit, don't steal, not unless you have a badge or a gun of the government. Government is an opinion with a gun, and getting people to see that and move past that. And as activists, and it's funny, you talked about what it's like being a celebrity for yourself, and you're a legitimate celebrity, and then there's political celebrity, and then there's me, minor political celebrity, and I still get some of the same experience of people having a relationship with me before you meet them, and you know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have with your presence, your ability to get people to get more involved, to share this perspective, to enjoy standing up to the man, that people in your position can use your presence to better affect this change and be a part of this. And I wanted to open the podcast by saying I'm from the revolution and I'm here to recruit you.
I don't know how to respond to that last creepy part, but
you guys need to work out together.
Oh, man.
Brian just wants both of us to leave the room right now, making him uncomfortable.
See, that's classic Joe Rogan. I mean, the conversation got steered. The conversation got, moved off of the subject. But Adam was literally telling him right there how much change he could make. And then when the situation came down to it, he said $100 million. He said, no, forget about it. Like, in my opinion, Spotify made them take it down because these are the ones, everything else Adam said in this 3-hour podcast, and many of the other people I'm sure that were banned from his library, they were saying things that would actually cause change. And that's why the hammer came down on them officially. Like, I mean, think about it. He has thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. He's been doing this for over a decade, Joe Rogan, and he's got guest after guest after guest after guest, 3 hours at a time. And there's like 30 people that they're like, we can't say. I mean, they've talked about some crazy, wild, all kinds of shit on Joe Rogan. They've talked about all kinds of crazy stuff on Joe Rogan with many different guests, but those 30 people out of thousands upon thousands aren't allowed to be heard from. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, you know. It's not that they're not allowed to be heard from, because obviously you can play it on Adam's channel or anywhere it's might have been backed up. But Rogan, you know, I mean, there is two sides to the coin, you know. He sold out, but it was $100 fucking million. So everybody has a price. That's just the truth of the matter. Everybody's got a price. And, you know, deleting those 30 people, he thought he could do more good with $100 million. And he's probably not wrong. So I can't, you know, totally fault him for it, I guess. But it's just one of those things. It's like, oh man, if we could have, you know, like, I mean, back to Adam Kokesh himself, like, if the Libertarian Party would have made him their presidential nominee, things would have been different. I'm telling you that, knowing the man personally and knowing him very much while he was on his campaign running. He had plans. Like, one of his major plans, I can drop this, one of his major plans was to stop the Republican and Democratic debates unless he, as the Libertarian nominee and on the ballot in 50 states, was allowed to participate. So, I mean, imagine this guy, Adam, you know, or somebody like me, but with better articulation skills, i.e. Adam, being on the stage with Trump and Biden debating them. I mean, it would not go good for them, and he would destroy them and wake up millions upon millions of people at a time on their mainstream TV networks. They wouldn't be able to hide this message if they allowed someone like him to get on that national debate stage. So, I mean, it was the biggest mistake the Libertarians ever made, in my opinion, not going with him. But it's just an opinion. I could be wrong. He's just a guy, you know, who knows? But he was good, in my opinion. Anyways, neither of them would win. No, the Libertarian is not going to win. I guarantee you. I mean, Joe Jorgensen got more than whatever it was. They said like 3.4 or 4% of the vote or something. Bullcrap. Just like we all know that Biden did get 80 million or whatever, the Libertarians got more than they told us in their fake numbers. So it wouldn't have mattered. He wouldn't have made it, you know, that it was just the point of the journey. Him being on a debate stage before everybody went to the ballot boxes. They couldn't have that at all. They were terrified of that. And they didn't get it anyways, whether or not they did some COINTEL Pro shit and infiltrated the Libertarian Party to make sure that he wasn't. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know, but it's interesting to think about. I'll tell you that. Good day to all. Let's do a few comments. Adam would not have the authority to stop their debates. No, of course not. He's not. Of course, he wouldn't have the authority to walk up and say, hey, you can't debate unless I'm involved. But we had plans with many thousands of people ready to blockade in the streets the building where the debate was going to take place. And it was going to be a choice of us letting Biden or whoever was debating at that time physically enter the property to complete the debate, unless it was agreed that the libertarian was allowed. I mean, that was the plan, and it could have went a million different ways, but it would have been great. But it didn't. So sadly, we're over it. Coke and Pepsi teams are paid for by the same industry monopolists. I did a video about that, about the Republicans and Democrats, and I literally compared them to Coke and Pepsi. They're both manufactured and controlled by the same corporate not the same, but by large corporate monopolies. The only difference between them is red and blue. They both kind of taste a tiny bit different, but they're pretty much made of the same poison. Interesting stuff. Okay, let's get back to some of my video here, if I can do this. There we go. We're already on full screen. We'll hit play. Two others together for you, including where he gets harassed for recording on a public sidewalk, and another great video where he educates some low information voters. Enjoy.
Movements with your body. Is that still dancing?
The guy literally just bumped into him. They were just sitting there swaying like that, and this guy walks back.
You can go to jail for doing that.
You're not allowed to have free expression or free speech in the memorial to Thomas Jefferson, the champion of free speech.
We're watching each other. So are we stopping? We're stopping. You are not arresting us for standing.
For what? Here it is.
Don't even give me a warning.
Dancing in the public area.
Give me a warning.
Dancing in the public area.
You didn't even give me a warning. We can dance if we want to. We can leave our friends behind. Because the cops don't dance, and if they don't dance with their little friends of mine. Unbelievable.
Who did? Sergeant, I don't even know who the sergeant is. You'll let dance in America, sir. Excuse me, sir. Did you ever talk to me? You hate America, sir. Hey, Sergeant, did you talk to me? Sergeant, thank you for stopping. Did you talk to me? Sergeant, did you talk to me? Don't, I got a bat. I got a broken
Too much
shoulder.
violence here. Had to block it out.
Put your hands behind your back. This is America.
Have you ever thought about a better
Oh,
way to
you
use
better
your
not
internet
with
bill
your
order?
ads. What
Well,
the
Amazon,
hell?
the world's
Whose
most
channel is
trusted
this? This is bullshit.
This is America when you dance in the public place.
Sorry about that.
When you dance, this is illegal to dance.
What was that?
Sir, this is your last order.
Couldn't show this part either, unfortunately. I was afraid I showed too much right there, but I didn't get. I can't show him being choked by the officer here, but if you want to see it for yourself, the link is in the description. Yeah, link in the description of that video.
Arrested for dancing.
Let me give you my phone. Jeremy, I need to give you my phone.
If you haven't seen this video yet, I mean, enjoy, because it's so crazy. And remember, it was 12 years ago. I think I already mentioned that in the video, but it's so crazy. Rowdy Patriot's been cop watching 11 years. Look, this is where they kick. Good job, Rowdy Patriot. I'm gonna check your channel out.
Is Trump's not allowed here either?
Not allowed to video record it.
Straight grabbed his stuff and shoved him out. You're not allowed to video record in here, he said. It's always about the recording. It's always about the filming. Very short one. You might not have even known existed.
Silent. We will not obey. We will not allow our government to destroy our humanity. We are the final American Revolution. See you next Independence Day.
Less than a week later, Adam's house was raided, his dog was flashbanged, and he was locked in a cage for 4 months.
Check this out, Lucas.
Now on to being harassed for filming on a sidewalk. Before we get to the filming on a sidewalk, more about his 4 months he spent locked up. He was in solitary because one thing you should know about Adam, fun fact, when he gets arrested, when he takes an arrest, he says, okay, and he takes the stance that I'm not going to participate in your kidnapping of me. So he goes limp, basically. Maybe not necessarily, I mean, kind of limp. He makes them carry him. And yeah, I mean, and when I say he makes them carry them, the last time he was in jail that I know of, quick side story before we get back to the video, because this is a pretty good one. So check this out. And it should be on his channel as well. I should have covered this one in it too. But anyways, last time he got arrested, he was driving with no registration on his plates, and he had some marijuana and some mushrooms on him, capsules, and got pulled over, and they didn't like him. They didn't like his explanation for not having registration, so they put him in the jail. And he physically made them carry them to the jail cell, and when it came time to, okay, it's your time to see the court, he said, I'm not participating in your guys' kidnapping of me or any process of any kind. And it's possible that it only worked, what he did only worked because he was in a smaller township that his online following could persuade with their call floods and whatnot. It might not have worked in the Maricopa County, you know what I mean, kind of thing. He was in some other state, and it was a smaller town. So I mean, he went balls to the wall, like protesting that he is not participating in this unwilling. He did not hurt anybody or commit any crimes, and he, you know, wasn't participating. Made him carry him everywhere he went, and would not participate with the judge, would not even go to see the judge, said he was refusing to see the judge. And it took him a couple weeks, and he did a few live streams from in jail, and end up getting out. They ended up kicking him out and giving him his drugs back. So imagine that. It can be done. I say it was a few things. At the time, he had a big enough of a following that did a big enough of call floods that it worked at the time, and he's able to do that. Big channels and people with followings are able to do that. Little small people with no YouTube channels, they don't get away with stuff like that. They'll railroad you and keep you locked in a cage forever. But anyways, point made. Jim, I like your shirt and the profile resident of Earth. Love it. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. That's my council meeting name, Resident of Earth, because they're always like, where are you from? Where are you a resident of? Where do you live? I'm a resident of the planet. I'm no different than anyone on it, which is weird to say, but you know what I mean when I say that, because obviously I'm different than the psycho politicians that are running the show right now. How the heck did he live stream from jail? I'll tell you, it was an audio, basically. He called his girlfriend at the time, and with the collect call, and she live streamed the audio directly. So I helped as a part of that. I ran the StreamYard backdoor or whatever, and put it all together, and we put it out to the internet for people to see. Gandhi, passive resistance. I guess, yeah, it was kind of some Gandhi level passive resistance. If you're going to beat me up and kidnap me, that's what you're going to choose to do. I'm just not going to participate, and I'm going to, you know, see what happens and wait it out, kind of thing. Lucky. Watching from Australia. That's cool. I love that. You guys are not free there, but we're not free here either. So who am I to talk, right? That's how he live streams from jail. Where is Adam now? I thought, well, I did mention it earlier. He might be back new to the stream, coming in late. He is off-grid property, living his best life. He's got his dogs surrounding him. He's takes, supplements. He's super healthy. He's getting big. He's, he says that he feels the best he's felt his whole life. And he's in the middle of nowhere, off-grid. That pretty much sums it up. I will be going in a few weeks, couple weeks to a few weeks. I'll be going back up to his property that I used to live on for 4 or 5 months. I'm going to be going back to that property to see what it looks like now since I've been there, and get video update of where he's at and what his life is like, and kind of like an exclusive, because right now he's kind of taking a sabbatical. Not kind of, he is actually officially withdrawn from all major social medias, Facebook and YouTube and the like, even X or whatever. He's not doing any of it as far as I know. He's detoxing from social media to get himself where he wants to be in his life. So like I said, I mean, it's outstanding for him and I love him to death. So you got to do what you got to do to make yourself happy, because like John Lennon said, happiness is the key to life. Or that's not really a quote, but there's a story about John Lennon telling his teacher, she says, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he says, happy. And she says, I don't think you understand the assignment. And he says, I don't think you understand life. Because it doesn't matter what you do as long as you're happy doing it. So obviously the activist life is it can take a toll sometimes. It's a lot for a lot of people, even amazing people like Adam. It can be a lot to deal with regularly and try to fight against. I mean, it's exhausting. Believe me. I mean, I'm barely touching the tip of the iceberg of fighting the good fight, and it's exhausting. That's one thing I can tell you. It's exhausting, period. So anyways, he's doing him, and I'm going to get that update soon. So that's exciting. How long has he been in jail from Australia? So Jim, how long has he been in jail from Australia? So we don't even as free as Aboriginal women, my son. Yeah, I know you guys, how not free you guys are up there. He's not in jail, by the way, to answer your first part of that question. He's living off grid, living his best life. Look at Gavin Syme. I've seen Gavin Syme. I'm not no stranger to him. He's one of the old schools, one of the greats. He had a lot of good content. One of my favorites from him was going up to the police car and like pulling them over or issuing a ticket, because they weren't wearing their seatbelt, things like that. He was pretty good at that. And yeah, so that was good. I think he went to, he left the States. He went to, I thought it was Mexico, but who knows? I don't know. He could be any fucking where by now. Look at what they did to Schaefer Cox. I'm not actually familiar with that, so I'm sorry about that, but I won't step on you, so don't worry. Nonviolence. Okay, let's play a little bit more of the video. How about it? What do you guys say? Sound fun?
We have the attention of the United States Parks Police. What can I do for you, officer?
Unless you got a permit for the sidewalk.
Nice. Got a permit.
You can interview people on the street as much as you want. All right.
So the issue is the structure of the monopod being on the sidewalk.
No, it's just the filming.
See, this is back before they used to lie about it. It's just the filming.
Is the sidewalk a public place?
36 CFR 7.96. Unless you have a permit from the National Park Service to commercially film on their property, then just step it down sidewalk. I don't have any other issue. You can interview people down here. It's from here to there. All right.
We're just independent citizen journalists exercising our First Amendment rights, and we believe that we have
breaking news coverage, sir. That's the policy.
Well,
That's the law.
It's breaking right now. There's a United States Park Police officer harassing an independent journalist for exercising his First Amendment rights. That's
I love how good he is at bringing, like, he doesn't let them escape. They keep trying to say permit this, permit that, and he's like, it's breaking news right now that you're trying to stop a citizen journalist from expressing his First Amendment right. Keep it simple, keep it on point, don't let them escape from it. It's a fucking beautiful thing. Let's keep watching.
breaking news, don't you think?
I'm not
Breaking
harassing you.
news
I'm asking you
every
nicely if you had
time,
a
but it
permit.
happens all the time.
You said no. I'm advising you of the law, which I'm sure you know.
Well, I do have a permit actually. It's the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Okay, do you have one from the National Park Service, sir?
The Park Service doesn't recognize the Constitution. Well, I guess that makes sense.
I'm not going to get into this back and forth with you. Do you have a permit from the National Park Service to film on National Park Service property?
Do you have evidence that we are commercially filming?
Is it commercial?
Do you have evidence?
Is it going up on YouTube?
Do you have evidence that what we are doing is a commercial exercise?
We're done. If you want to continue on the sidewalk, continue. You'll be in violation. Okay.
Of the CFR.
36 CFR 7.96. Have a good day, Mr. Kokesh.
Ooh. So what do you want to do, Luke? Do you want to keep filming on the sidewalk?
Boom, it goes right back to the sidewalk casually right in front of the guy. Like, he walks away, he jumps right back on the sidewalk, and he's nice enough to even give his camera guy, Lucas, who, by the way, yes, it's from a dozen years ago, and no, I was not filming for him back then. I got a whole nother story to tell you. If you look at my very first videos I ever made, back then, I was riding a bicycle 450 miles trying to talk to the president of the United States. Back then, I was a horrible YouTube content creator. I had a really crappy phone that I was trying to do content with. A lot of my videos got deleted. There's a whole story around that. And I ended up talking to the Secret Service in front of the White House and getting the spread out of all my stuff and the whole 9 third degree or whatever they call it. It was interesting. But no, I wasn't filming for Adam back then, but that would have been fun. Debbie is going to read his book tonight. Love him. It's a great idea. It's always a good read. I read it from time to time because it's only 99 pages and it's a pretty easy read. I wonder if I have one within reach of me. I do. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. It's a little dusty because it was on my shelf, but yeah, it's super thin. It's only 100 pages, and maybe I'll just live stream the whole thing right here. I'll do it slowly so you guys can read. And then, just kidding, I'm not doing that. That'd be cool though to make a video reading some excerpts from it. So I'm going to consider that in the future. But anyways, back to the amazing original auditor. This guy, a dozen years ago, recording police, like the title says, before it was cool. I don't even know if he knew what it was he was doing, actually. Like, I don't know if he knew. I'm not necessarily going to say I know for 100% fact that he was the one that started it. He was the original, because I don't know the timeline exactly, but he was one of the first great ones. And yeah, anyways, enjoy. Let's continue with the video.
Alright, so we're gonna pan here. This isn't even a.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Before we continue, which president? Yeah, which president? What are we talking about? What did I say? Oh, Obama was the president I was riding to see. I forgot what I talked about 5 seconds ago because I was already on my next thought. Yeah, it was President Obama was the one that was in office, and it was in 2012 actually. So yeah, it was almost like, I think this was 10 years ago, maybe, or 11 years ago. I can't remember. I'll have to look at the dates. Sorry about that. But anyways, Obama was in office and he was fighting for re-election in 2012. It was in September of 2012, and he was fighting for re-election. And that's why, that's literally officially the official reason from Secret Service why I was told that I wouldn't be able to talk to him unless I had $20 million to donate to his campaign. Then he would talk to me. So it's pretty messed up. Available on YouTube, definitely. Yeah, check it out. He was one of the first. Yeah, he has had a show on RT for a little bit. Yeah, the show had, yeah, he had exposure. Yeah, RT. I don't remember what that stands for, but yeah, he had a show on there for a good long time. It's all on his YouTube. That's why he doesn't want to mess with YouTube anymore. I think I mentioned it in the end of this video because he's scared that he's going to get another strike for saying something that he's not allowed to say or showing something that he's not allowed to show. And he's going to get a final that, because they have, like Derek Bros, I don't know if you know who that is, the consciousresistance.com. He's a real good old school activist. He did a lot of work with Adam back in the day. And his YouTube channel eventually got deleted. And he had like 3,000 videos up with all kinds of superb, fantastic journalist work. I mean, you can still see it because he has it on the consciousresistance.com. But they deleted every video he has. 3,000 videos gone from YouTube, everything he's ever done. So Adam was like, fuck that. I love all these videos, and they have incredible value for people to be able to watch on YouTube whenever they find a way to search them out, or however they come across it in the universe. He's done participating, but he's going to leave them there for people to gain the value that he originally wanted them to get when he posted it, you know. 1A audits. Oh my God, you live. What an honor. Hey, appreciate you. What's an honor to see you watching me live. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you for that. Thanks for watching. It's always good to see people. I'm going to start, like I said before, going live more often. I'm going to start having guests on my show to watch some stuff. I won't always be covering my own content. I just kind of wanted to, like I said in the beginning of the stream, I just really wanted to add a few things to this video that I wished I would have put in when I originally created it. But I'm getting better as we go along. So here we go. Let's get back to the video. The original auditor.
And they're filming on the sidewalk. And that guy's filming on the sidewalk. That guy's filming on the sidewalk.
If you've been injured in a car accident,
Oh, what the
don't
hell?
call an attorney.
Ads. I'm
Use
sorry.
this AI app instead.
Sorry about that. You're getting ads.
This is Adam Kokesh reporting unlawfully from in front of the White House, thanks to a clear violation of the First Amendment by the Parks police officers you see standing behind us. Apparently, we are already in violation of the regulation quoted by one officer and subject to arrest as well now for disobeying the orders of an officer. That's right. We could be arrested at any time standing right here filming while we're surrounded by tourists with cameras filming on their own behalf. But
you mean I can get arrested for this?
Yeah, Lucas. Okay, well, it appears now that my cameraman standing off the sidewalk is not liable for arrest. But oh, and now we see the lovely Parks police officers coming over to join us. Why don't you pan around, Lucas, and see what's going on here? Maybe we can get an interview with one of the officers themselves. This would be very exciting.
This guy is
How you doing,
skittish.
sir?
With the United States Park Police.
Pay close attention to this cop's demeanor and body language. If a guy with a camera can rattle you this much, you definitely shouldn't be defending anything, especially the White House.
Please don't stick that in my face. Thank you.
Don't stick that in my face.
Giving you 1 second warning. You were up on the sidewalk. You need a permit to film on the sidewalk. My officer is very clear of that.
Is it public space?
Yes, it's a public space, but you're performing a commercial enterprise on a public space, which requires a permit.
The First Amendment doesn't apply there without permission, you're saying?
You need a permit. That's all I'm saying. You're off the sidewalk now. You're not in violation.
Did you swear an oath to the Constitution when you took this job as a United States Parks Police officer, sir?
That's irrelevant, sir. I'm merely stating.
Your oath is irrelevant? The Constitution is irrelevant? Which is it, sir?
Sir, the only thing I'm here to discuss is the fact that you need a permit to be on that sidewalk. You're off the sidewalk now. If you go back on the sidewalk, you will be arrested.
Well, I was actually here to discuss all the various ways in which our government is so grossly outside of the bounds of the Constitution. I'm so glad that you came and give me a real life example right here of a government that's out of control, not even having respect for basic First Amendment journalist rights.
Second time.
We're done. Thank you.
No comment. What about your oath, sir? Did you swear an oath to the Constitution? Gentlemen, what about you? You swore an oath to the Constitution when you took your job with Parks Police as a law enforcement officer in the United States? Did you just agree to walk away from people who want to talk to you? This is how you treat a citizen, civilian, just looking for answers from a police department? I've been advised, and now I got a question. I want to talk to you. You don't want to talk? You can't talk to a member of the public?
Scared.
You can't answer questions, reasonable questions from an independent citizen journalist about law enforcement, about what you're doing here, about your oath to the Constitution?
I'm not going to be part of your interview. That's it.
Will you take questions from an independent citizen journalist just to talk about what your job is? What about you, sir? You're not available to talk to a citizen who wants to know what's going on, what you're doing here?
PIO, the old PIO.
I can speak to the PIO, but I want to talk to you. I want to talk to the guys actually here on the street that are actually the ones that, if I were to do something that violated the limits that you want to put on the First Amendment here, would be the ones actually grabbing me, handcuffing me, doing whatever it is that you had to do to detain me.
Right now, you're good.
Well, I know I'm good right here. Okay, well, so then let's talk. What do you think about your oath to the Constitution?
I've advised you of the rule and the regulation. That's all I'm here to do.
Do you believe that that regulation is constitutional?
Rule. Okay. I don't interpret them. I enforce them. Okay.
Now, if you were given a rule to enforce that you knew was unjust or contradicted your oath to the Constitution,
the sidewalk,
you would just enforce without question?
Any other questions, you can speak to PIO. Thank you, sir.
So you think your regulations trump the Constitution? No comment on that, of course. Sergeant, are you available, Sergeant? Because I'm a citizen with some concerns here, and it seems to me that the regulation you're attempting to enforce, I will respect your space, sir, but I think that this.
If you wish to do an interview, you need to contact our public information officer.
Well, you're the one right here making the decision about whether or not I get arrested for filming on the sidewalk. So. Right, but I get to talk to you, right, as a citizen, talking to a law enforcement officer.
Talk back.
So this regulation that you're talking about here that says independent citizen journalists or anybody filming, if they're Adam Kokesh or if they have a bigger camera following them than all the little cameras that people are filming with there, that for someone in my situation, the First Amendment doesn't apply?
No comment, sir.
So did you take an oath to the Constitution when you took this job?
No comment, sir.
Why are you twitching?
No comment, sir.
Are you nervous?
No comment.
Do you have a problem actually honoring your oath to the Constitution? Do you have a problem honoring your word in general? Is this something that makes you uncomfortable?
No comment, sir.
This is a disgrace. This is the state of law enforcement in America today. This is what it's come to. And I don't want to single out this officer. Sir, I'm sure you're a great guy. I'm sure as an individual, you're a fine gentleman. But you can see how you're in a difficult spot here.
No comment, sir.
You tried to give him an olive branch.
No comment.
No comment.
I'm sure you're a good guy. This isn't about
Another
you
one.
personally. But you see the incentive system that's been created in the position that you've been put in by the government, by the system here, where you are an enforcer of unjust laws. You have sworn an oath to the Constitution, and you take a paycheck every day to come out here and violate individual rights or enforce edicts, enforce regulations that violate that basic Constitution that you swore an oath to.
No comment, sir.
You're not unique in this, but sir, I really hope that we can do something to at very least improve the
Look at
state
all
of
the
law
people
enforcement in
watching.
America. And we don't
That's
end up
another
with people
thing
like
I
you in
wanna-
difficult positions like this, trying to enforce laws that you know are wrong. Thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
You're gonna shake hands at the end of a conversation, just polite to say I appreciate that. The other officer did. Not a standard of courtesy. Sad.
Sad. Definitely sad. Well, sad ad. Sad.
See, I love the story. As far as the movie goes, I thought it could.
No comment.
Do you have a difficult spot?
There.
You're
I'm
not
going to
unique in
this part right there.
but sir,
Boom. I wanted to show this part because look at all the people that are looking. Like, that's another thing that I loved about him is like when he was doing his thing, whether he was talking to a police or he was talking to another person, he drew a crowd. Like people, he has one of those voices that carries a little bit, and even out of his microphone, I mean, he has good audio because he's using a microphone, but even without his microphone, his voice carries enough for people in the immediate area to hear him clearly, and he speaks so clearly and articulately that people are like, "What's this guy saying?" You know, and they listen and they love it. And it's this is Adam Kokesh. He's I don't know if you don't know Adam Kokesh, you're welcome for showing him to you. So good, nice. Come up with us. I don't know what you're saying, Direct D. I feel like I missed something. Okay. Don't worry, soon illegal aliens and authority will take their place and will be. Oh, reluctant prophets in the house. What's going on? Good to see you all. Night Jim, you got grandkids? I got grandkids. Appreciate you. From school. That's crazy. Forgot you're on the other side of the planet. That's awesome. Go to bed, old timer. I should go to bed, huh? It's past my bedtime. You're probably talking to somebody else, though. Anyway, so back to my points here. You see all the people looking. It's fantastic. And another thing I love is a few seconds later when it's almost like a psychological game that he like, you know, you're not going to shake hands after a conversation, just a show of, you know, respect, like nobody hurt anybody and now we can part ways as agreeing to disagree. And his paralyzing fear would not allow him to do that, to reach his hand out and shake another man's hand and say, okay, good. You know, you haven't gone back on the sidewalk. You didn't even have to say any of that. You just shake his hand and this guy's going to go away. But no, I'm not going to shake your hand. You've been ego won't let him. That's exactly 100%. I could have just said that, I guess. That was a really long-winded way of saying his ego wouldn't let him. You have some of his silver coins. Sick, man. That's cool. That's cool, bro. Yeah, he loves his silver and gold and all that stuff. So, wonder what happened to him. Thought he was trying to run for non-president. He did. We'll get to that. It's in. That's toward the end of this video. So we are going to get to that. He did not too much, but yeah, we're going to get into it. Anyways, boom. Where are we going? We're going to Freedom Land, and we're going to watch Adam verbally take us there. No, I'm just kidding. I know you guys are talking other kinds of shit. I'm just talking to talk. So smart to like gold and silver. That's what pump people say. I'm sure it will have value, whether or not it'll be as much as people think in the future when the shit hits the fan. I don't know. Hopefully, because a lot of my friends have it. So I'd like to see a lot of my friends increase their value. Okay, let's go. Oh, we got a guest in the house. Give me a thumbs up backstage if you're ready to pull yourself up. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. What's going on? What up, man? How you doing, Direct D? I think you're muted. There he is. What's going on? Sorry, we're stoned. I'm stoned. Oops.
I'm fucking beyond stoned right now. I got off of my live and spent the last however long I haven't been live, like taking bong rip after bong rip after bong rip. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open right now.
Well, I won't keep you much longer, man. Let me see. I got.
I'll stay live with you for about 20-30 minutes,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like 15-20 minutes left of the video we're watching. So, what do you think so far? What do you think about Adam? Let's just do that real quick. You've been watching a little bit. Yeah. What's your opinion on Adam in general? I'm just curious.
I mean, beliefs and political opinions aside, the things that he's saying make perfect sense, and I like you know, the way he's delivering and articulating his message, because that's all that dude could do is sit there and say no comment and look at his chest, not even look at him in the eyes, and just basically block him out, because you don't have there is no response to that other than the truth, and the truth is adverse to his position, so he had to be silent.
Yeah, fair point. True that. That's pretty much nails it. Okay, all right. Well, let's get started with playing a little bit more.
I really hope that we can do something to, at very least, improve the statement of courtesy. Sad.
I love the story. As far as the movie goes, I
Oh,
thought
this one.
I thought it could have been better from an action part. I would have liked to see a little bit more of the war.
I put this video in here because it's the first one I watched that made me a fan of Adam Kokesh. Actually, he was waiting outside of a theater after the movie American Sniper just premiered, and he was talking to people as they were coming out of the theater and having just watched the movie. So it was fantastic. He got some great conversations. He talked to about 4 or 5 people, but I just wanted to highlight 2 men specifically that he talked to and how he talked to them. I love how he doesn't let them get away with geographical location identifiers as an excuse to get away from a logical, rational argument. He is a well-practiced and well-versed individual that knows how to respond to people that are trying to deflect in important conversations that they don't want to actually have. They don't want to have these conversations. That's why they keep deflecting away from it. Adam is a professional at keeping the conversation centered around the topics, centered around the point of the conversation.
Then more of kind of the back and forth with the family and war stuff.
So you don't like the emotional, you just want the action?
I like the action. Yeah, absolutely.
You just want to see people get blown up?
No, not necessarily that, but I think that
well, isn't that what war is?
It is. I did. Yeah, I went to West Point. So I look, I'm 100% for the purpose of the movie.
Would you say Chris Kyle is a hero for defending the homeland then?
100%.
So you remember the scene
when it goes over there is, right? So it's that by default, you deciding to go over there and fight for our country, you're absolutely defending the homeland.
I believe he was protecting our nation in a time of war.
What was the threat to our nation?
Terrorism.
From Iraq?
From Al-Qaeda, from different terrorist groups, not in just one country, all over the place.
When did Al-Qaeda come to Iraq?
They're in Syria. They move around.
Well, this is an important question because you're saying that you support him being, going after Al-Qaeda in Iraq. So when did Al-Qaeda get to Iraq?
Never in Iraq, but I'm really glad that Saddam Hussein was taken out of power because he actually had plans to attack America, whether people realize it or not.
What were those plans?
When we went in there, we found the plans.
Like the weapons of mass destruction?
Do I think Bush was sane? I think he had some issues, but he was a Christian.
So that's some issues?
He had some issues.
Like talking to God, that God told him to go kill all the people?
He's from Texas, and if you're from Texas, you're not that bad. Right? Texas. California and Texas. Where are you from?
Look at him.
It sounds like you're trying to avoid a rational argument by throwing in arbitrary geographic associations and saying that if you happen to be from a specific area, that's good. It's kind of a dangerous, irrational presumption.
Bush is from Texas. He's a good guy. He also
he's actually not from Texas. Do you know where he's really from?
Where?
He's from Connecticut.
He's born in Connecticut?
Yeah, and he grew up in Connecticut and was a transplant to Texas.
I did not know that. I learned.
That was hilarious how he just to say, like, at first he's not letting him get away with it, and he's like he thought about how to react to that question. You know what I mean? It wasn't even a question. The guy literally tried to just steer the conversation, and the guy assumed, you can almost tell, that Adam was either from Texas or California. That's why he said that. And he was like Texas, and then Adam just kept staring at him. He's like, and California, and he was like, where are you from? And Adam was like, it sounds like you're trying to escape the argument. And he said it in the beautiful way he said it. And then but then the guy keeps on with it. So then he's like, okay, well, since you want to go this way, he just gives him the actual facts. And the guy's not even speaking facts, you know, so he destroys them. I don't know. I just love it.
He's definitely got the
new
gift
fact
of gab.
today.
Is that
Yeah, exactly. He knows how to say it.
Love American Sniper.
what's the purpose of the movie?
Well, I think it's to highlight a hero's journey, and what he did over there deserves all of our respect. And you know, I think it's good to see people in Hollywood honor a guy like that, right?
Well, it's also really important for the attempt now to get boots on the ground back in Iraq so that we can finish the job that we did there. So that the Marines that died when I was there, didn't die in vain, right? I mean, you support that, right?
Oh, look, absolutely. We're doing a half-assed job right now. Who in that scene? Well, he is, but anyone else who's in that convoy, anyone who's there is defending the homeland.
But they're in Iraq.
Yeah.
That's not their homeland.
Yeah, thank God they're not here, right?
Who's they? You mean the terrorists?
Yeah.
Like from 9/11?
No, but any of these guys. I mean, the Al-Qaeda, that's just one element of these.
Before the invasion of Iraq, how many terrorists were there in Iraq?
I don't know the answer to that.
How many terrorists from the 9/11 hijackings were from Iraq?
I don't know. I think most of them from Saudi Arabia, actually.
The answer is 0. Do you think that the mother and the kid were actually there defending their homeland when they're in a city that's been bombed out by a foreign invader and they're trying to repel them? I mean, if you were in their situation and your country had been attacked and was being occupied and martial law was being imposed by a country that you never threatened, wouldn't you stand up here and defend your homeland?
I would, but I don't know what parallel you're trying to make.
He is so confused.
The problem is the threat of terrorism, and it's growing everywhere. I think it's worse than it was before, and I think all the progress we made and all the sacrifice that was made over there is probably sadly lost.
What was it that he was fighting for us in the war in Iraq in terms of the problem of terrorism as you describe it?
What he was over there. I don't know if he was there. I can't remember what years he was there, but he was there to push back Al-Qaeda, the spread of global terrorism.
Well, it wasn't Al-Qaeda, it was the insurgents.
I don't understand. What are you really driving at here with the question?
Well, if the people in Iraq who were shooting at me were defending their homeland, doesn't that make me the aggressor and the villain and them the heroes and Chris Kyle the bad guy because he was killing people that were heroically defending their homeland against a foreign invader?
That's not how I look at it.
Why not?
Because I'm an American and I support what our American troops do for us.
See, now that right there, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is the personification of cognitive dissonance right there. That guy is a perfect shining example of just, he had it laid out and spoon-fed to him as clearly as you could possibly articulate it. And he knows, you can tell he's intelligent enough to understand the words that Adam's saying to him, but he just does not want to accept the reality that comes with everything else that comes with those statements. He knows Adam's right, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it because everything else that he knows comes with it. You know what I'm saying? So they just shut down. I don't want to. Why? Because I'm an American and I support what they do. Like, are you serious? That statement that just came out of your mouth, are you literally telling me that hypothetically, if the American troops were literally doing some full grade Nazi stuff on camera, you would support it blindly just because you're an American? No. If you say yes, you're psychotic. If you say no, then you're at least being honest and we can start to have the rest of the conversation. You know what I mean? Anyways, moving on. You got anything to add or should we move on?
No, I mean, you said it beautifully.
Awesome.
Us. So that's an identity response. That's not really like a rational reason. You understand the difference, right?
No, I do understand, but I think that if supporting the mission of what our country needs to solve to fight terrorism. And if that's the battleground, and that's where it happens to be, and I'm picking our side.
Okay, well, Iraq had nothing to do with terrorism and the justification for the invasion. You know this, right? It was weapons of mass destruction that turned out to be a lie. So you're conflating these issues, and I would hope that if you really care about this country for an issue as important as life or death for a soldier like I was in the Marines, that you would take the time to at least like get your facts straight on that. We should be looking at what the big threat is if we really care about protecting our fellow Americans. And it's clear that our own government is a bigger threat. And it's pretty cowardly, if you know this, to say, hey, I'm going to go after the little threat in Iraq that's really not even a terrorist threat, as you know, but because of propaganda that you've obviously been subjected to, you have some misunderstanding of this, right? So a real hero would be someone who actually goes after the big threat and is really honestly protecting people. And if someone knew this, and we all really kind of know this,
Let me ask you this, and I gotta go, so we're late for our movie. So you don't think Chris Kyle's a hero? That's your point. That's why you're doing this.
I don't think it really matters whether you address someone as a hero or not, but I think holding...
You've been asking me, so I want to know what you...
No, well, I'm answering. I mean, I think that the concept of holding someone up as a hero is a very dangerous concept. And it's...
Fair enough, but just answer. Do you think he's a hero?
No.
You don't
I think he's done good things and he's done bad things, but I think in terms of the main point of his life, which was to be America's deadliest sniper, he was part of a criminal enterprise that he may have been duped into being a part of, but in a sense, he still bears responsibility for that.
Yeah, fair enough. I respect your opinion. You fought for us, so I got to give you your opinion.
The thing is, I didn't. I was fighting for bankers, politicians, and war profiteers, and now you know that.
Yeah, understood. Nice to meet you.
All right, thanks for your time. Can I give you a sticker? I really appreciate it.
Why did you sign up to fight? Why did you put your line and sign your name on the dotted line to fight for your country?
Because I used to share a lot of the same delusions about this government and about militarism that you do. But I've learned since then, I've learned from my experience. I've learned that I was part of a criminal organization, part of a criminal enterprise in the invasion of Iraq that most people misunderstand.
Enterprise.
Absolutely, because it uses
in the United States of America, criminal enterprise.
The government. Yeah. Do you think our government is not criminal?
Please don't post this. I don't want this on the internet.
Oh, can I?
You don't have my permission.
Okay.
You don't have my permission to post this.
He's Adam Kokesh, and there he is.
Adam became so popular that he decided to try to run for president as a libertarian. He put on a suit and tie and played the game as well as anybody could play it. Shortly after that thing that starts with a C happened, and it became financially impossible to continue campaigning. After you watch this next video describing his presidential campaign, let me know what you think about him in the comments.
Limited government is one of the guiding principles of the Libertarian Party and of the Constitution of the United States. And if you're watching Kennedy, you know that. And that's because a smaller government means more personal freedom, fewer taxes, and less regulation. But one libertarian candidate for president is going one step further, and he claims that if he wins, are you ready for this? I wish I had a drum roll. He will dissolve the entire federal government on his first day in office and then resign as president. So then what happens? Joining me tonight, libertarian candidate for president, Adam Kokesh, former Marine, good friend of mine, friend of the show, friend of the old show, Freedom Watch. Adam, how are you? Good to see you.
Outstanding. Likewise, Judge. Thank you so much for sneaking us past the censors tonight. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the help with Nevada here with the Bundy case last year and the stand event we did to support them.
Well,
I really appreciate the stands you've taken over the years.
Thank you, Adam. But are you serious that you will run for and win on a platform of abolishing the government?
Yes, Judge. Well, it's a little more complicated than you made it out to be. But yes, America is too good for this government. It's time for us to be united in freedom instead of government. And my proposal is the localization of the federal government, dissolving it through a bankruptcy process in a peaceful, orderly, responsible manner that would leave us with 50 independent states and, of course, up to 562 sovereign native nations. So in terms of getting rid of it on day one, it's a little more complicated than that. But yes, I would be resigning on day one. I think the only thing you can do when you're handed the ring of power is throw it directly into the fire.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how popular is this view, and will you get the nomination of the Libertarian Party? Because if you get it, I think you're on the ballot in all 50 states.
I think we will be. There's going to be a bit of a struggle with ballot access. You know, the duopoly does everything they can to keep us off.
Right.
The thing about this is that it's a fundamentally different approach to freedom. Instead of saying, let's have a president who gives freedom to the entire country, to say, let's instead localize government so everybody gets what they want out of it. And that is really unifying people. That brings people together. Localization is the cure for polarization. And you see Americans fighting at the extremes left and right. And it's so silly when you just say, let's instead respect each other's rights to develop the communities that are based on our values.
All right, Adam, you and I have known each other for years. We've discussed these things many times. We share the same principles. How will you argue to an American public that is addicted to getting free stuff from the government?
That's a very good question. I think, again, the answer is to stop arguing about what government should be. Libertarianism for too long has been playing their game, playing politics, saying it's about this issue and that issue and that issue. And instead, we should be saying, you can have as much government as you want, as long as it's voluntary, as long as it's local, as long as it's based in a community and you're not forcing it on someone. If you want this out of government, you want that. When government is localized, y'all can have it. Everybody gets what they want. I think that's the ultimate pitch. I think the American people are ready for a truly revolutionary campaign like this that really could be seen as the promise fulfilling the first American Revolution.
You are an ex-Marine. What will become of defense in your scheme, in your system? Former Marine, Marine forever. I know that. But it's just a premise to the question. What will become of defense? What will become of the military? What will secure the borders? What will protect us from invasion?
Well, Judge, as you know, there were a lot of founders of this country who were against the very idea of a standing army. And you know that a decentralized militia-based defense is more in line with the founders' vision. It's more efficient, it's more effective, and as they would say, the only legitimate defense of a free people is a well-armed population that refuses to be governed by anyone. Localizing the military to the states, getting it focused more on defensive rather than offensive and world policing type forces, that's going to be a first step in the right direction. And remember, getting rid of the federal government, we're only talking about getting rid of 3 million out of 22 million employees who work for the government at state, local, and federal levels. It's just getting rid of this layer of fat off the top.
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, brother. And hey, I just want to say to everybody out there, please join the Libertarian Party, support the other Libertarian Party candidates for president. We've been setting records for fundraising and media.
Thank you, Adam.
2020 is going to be a big year for the LP.
He has a little bit of everything. Man on the street with police officers, man on the street with people. He gets people to come to conclusions on their own just by asking specific questions that guide the conversation to encourage critical thinking. Adam doesn't post on YouTube anymore because he's rightfully afraid that if he gets his third and final strike, that they're going to delete all of the content of his entire channel. He just doesn't want to lose it because of how popular and usable YouTube is. So there's a lot of valuable content on his page. Definitely go check out his page. Even though he doesn't post any recent content, there's still a lot of value in all of the content he already has up. Find his page, enjoy his content, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Boom.
Boom.
I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I could play more of the Joe Rogan bit. I don't know if you caught that earlier when I was playing that.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah. I love his whole. I definitely recommend that for everybody. Watch the video we just watch the video we just watched. How funny does that sound? Go watch the entire Joe Rogan video. You saw the clip of it earlier, but go watch the whole 3 hours and you'll start to see, I mean, just the way he clearly articulates it. And he even had the politician mannerisms down. You know, he was really good on TV. He knew how to put the suit and tie on, and he looked like one of them. You know what I mean? So it was super dangerous for them because he looked like them, but the things he was saying were undeniably accurate and true and articulated in a way that the most common and basic person can easily comprehend what's being conveyed. And you know, Libertarian Party's a bunch of cowards. We already had that conversation. But,
yeah,
but
dude,
definitely. Go ahead. Sorry.
I can't wait to watch your interview with him when you go and wherever the fuck you're going. But yeah, dude, it would be it's gonna be interesting. You should try to talk him into coming on my channel and spreading more of not necessarily a libertarian viewpoint, but the message of this shit behind you. What he was saying is just logical. There doesn't need to be like some specific viewpoint behind it. It's just logical. It makes sense.
Right, exactly. And I don't think he's messing with the libertarians anymore. I think that his experience there, he really lost faith in a lot of their whole process, you know, and a lot of the people within. I mean, I'm making some assumptions there, I guess. We'll know more when I go do that update with him. He'll tell us how libertarian he is anymore these days. I don't have any idea. I don't ever hear him talk about the libertarians anymore. So, you know, I think he's just done with it. But I'm sure he'll still have some great shit to say. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get him at least temporarily on a few channels, giving the internet his knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the most important thing is educating others,
right?
Bringing light to the shadows of the world. You know what I'm saying? And the shadows of people's minds, really.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be great. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, though. I'm getting tired. I got to go to the bathroom and you know, nature calls and all that crap. So
yeah, this bitch keeps trying to eat my Pop-Tart.
Oh snap! Watch out. Which one is that?
This is Rosie, the fat one.
The fatty. That's cool. It's a good thing also can't get up there.
She just wants attention. She wants to be the star of the show. You want to be on the show? Hello. My name is Fat. My name is the Fat. My name is the Fat. Ow. All right.
All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Thanks, Derek D, for
well,
stopping
let
by.
people know we're gonna try to do this live stream shit more often, so you can like start to garner a live stream audience. Let them know, you know.
Yeah,
definitely around a
few
time
times.
frame, you know. Well, you got to cap it with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, definitely look forward, everybody. Everybody look forward to seeing my face more often on these live streams. We're going to have discussions, not just on videos that I've posted, but all kinds of stuff. I'm going to start getting other people, lawyers like Direct D did earlier. I'm going to get guests and people with knowledgeable intelligence that can bring education to the platform. I'm going to get them on here, and we're going to have some deep discussions with them. So get excited, be here for that. Don't forget to subscribe to me and any guests I have, and Adam Kokesh in this case, and watch his Joe Rogan video. I fucking love that video. It's a good 3-hour conversation. You should watch it. So thank you again. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hell yeah. You guys have a good night. And your mission is to convince Adam to come onto your channel live. There you go.
There you go. That's a good idea. I should do that. I probably could go live while I'm out there. He would probably like that.
That would be fucking badass. There you go. In the same vicinity.
Right. Ooh. I'm getting goosebumps. Oh, one more person. JV, thanks for asking. The update is the update today, just so you know, one last recap for Adam. For anybody that joined in really quickly lately, is he's living off grid and he's living his best life, and he's building the crap out of his property with buildings and everything he wants. He has his fence up, and he has taken an official break from social medias officially. You can find him on Telegram, so that's a way. You know, it's not like a big secret. He's not completely gone. He still exists, and if you want to seek him out, you can seek him out on the app called Telegram, and he runs a public. There's like 300 people that are subscribed to his little public updates about his life, so you can see all about his personal life on Telegram. You don't have to wait on me, but we're going to get a whole live video getting a little bit deeper into why he really left social media and if he'll ever return, and you know, whether or not he'll return in exclusive interviews just for us kind of thing, or whether he wants to return fully, or, you know, we'll go over all that. So that's the official update, just so you know. And that's it.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, Jim.
All right, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Later, guys.
Later.